Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali. This is a society that has just driven itself to such a point of desperation that human emotions cannot be honestly just shared with greater society because they're peddling such insanity that I mean, this era, it's the last days, but just the doctrines that they're trying to force on people, most folks are just not going to go along with it. And I think that's part of the reason why they're just shoving down everyone's throats concepts that have no basis in uh, hope for a continuous, harmonious society, which this one has never, ever been. But they're setting it up in a manner where now people don't even have the right to look at the cruelty of it, the viciousness of it, and respond in a natural way. I've been alive for a good long time now. And the wonderful thing is, oh, peace, brother Shakur. How are you? Good evening, brother. I've been alive for a long time. And I've gone through every range of emotion that, I know in my life. I wish they had people to talk to the people who realize this game over, not for us. It's not game over for us. It's game over for them. And I hope you understand what I mean. And because they're entered a level of desperation that is blatantly all over the place. There's nothing over for us. Let's see. You can't live your life without being in fear of what. Oh my goodness, brother Shakur. I recommend talking with my king because there's nothing to fear. I'm not saying that people don't have fear, but at the same time, this is a time to, if you have faith, this is the time to rejoice. The great beast, Western civilization, is coming down. I remember being a child thinking they would be in charge forever. It was just ubiquitous. They were just everywhere. And to see the just level of lunacy that they're trying to get everybody to go along with, that's their reality. That's not Black us. If you're not afraid of their time being over, then this is the time to sit down and do a jig and have a good time. Listen, brother, I love you, but I can't go back and forth if and in a public forum, if you are, what's the word I'm trying to find? Pessimistic, because I'm anything but. I'm thoroughly optimistic. Most High's going to win. Which side you're on? If you're on his side, you ain't got nothing to worry about, no matter what happens. No matter what they do, it doesn't have any impact on Allah. None whatsoever. There's a certain phenomenon when you are fighting someone and you're on the righteous side, you are empowered. You may, wonder, oh, what's going to happen, this or that. But I remember when I was a little girl and my dad, like any Black father, he was so scary for little girl me. He wasn't abusive, but he was scary. If he said, we're not coming home, and I lived in the era where you got spankings, corporeal punishment, nothing bad, nothing, scarring or whatever. But I would be quaking from the moment I finished the phone call to the moment he got home. I would be crying as his car drove into the driveway because I just knew I had done wrong and I was going to get it. Once I got to be a certain age as a teenager, this scariest man in life no longer scared me. I had gotten a certain amount of maturity where I just still didn't know everything. Now, as a grown woman, I sit back and I'm like, wow, my parents were right about that. But at the time, like all teenagers, I had, that arrogance, that bravado, and was certain I was right. And so the scariest man wasn't scary anymore. These people, they're not scary anymore. They're so wrong. They're so defeated. They're not scary. And so what I'm here for, and let me get the image that I need before I present my screen, because this is a thing that they want people to just succumb to the notion that they're in absolute charge, absolute power. And brother, I definitely recommend speaking with my king, because I'm your sister, and there's only so much that any man is going to take in from a woman, as it should be. Right? Let's see. Greetings to you, Facts Over Fear. That's a nice channel name. I'm new to this channel. Sounds like you are a believer in your people, into being the real. You know what? I'm not getting into all of that. I don't want to get sidetracked. Let's see now. Let me share my screen, and then I could get to what I'm here for. Let's see, right there, right there, right there, and right there. Okay. And is it? Yep, still there. Okay. Now, the last share I did, I was going over just how it affects us, that we have no equal voice on a global media range as these devils do. And they are orchestrating a psyop, brand new stereotype about us, and so that they can incite the common white person who's utterly clueless about man-made radiation and the fact that theirs have killed the Pacific Ocean. You can't undead it. But there are still species that are managing to cling for the moment, but the death is spreading to the other water bodies. Um, they have access to media that we don't have, and thereby they can create a fraudulent just depiction of us that is being used to incite violence. I'm not here to incite violence. I constantly uh, just state, I know there's a solution to everybody's problems that has nothing to do with going blitzkrieg, as these people constantly entreat everyone to do, between the cannibalism. I mean, Netflix is just friggin' morbidly depressed, where, I mean, they got Luciferian shows on ad nauseum. They will just continuously go on, so that they're presenting the world as if there's no hope. And so you, dear brother Shakur, and others, some, not all, but some, are taking in this narrative as if it's the be all and end all of society. And so let me go to a meme that I did the other day, because this is genuinely me. The thumbnail picture that I posted is genuinely me, deep in my soul. I feel this spring is going to be the most powerfully healing. Why do I say that? Because the truth is being revealed. These are the last days. And not only the truth about the devils being revealed, but the truth about joy, and the coming of the one and only, and the tail becoming the head, because what we have taken for the head is out of its mind. It's out of its mind. And so I said that powerful healing is coming for those who love truth. Those who love lies, it doesn't feel like the truth for them. And you don't have to be in cahoots with the devil, but you could believe the lie that somehow or another the world won't be real anymore. The world won't be possible to be survived within unless you got the devil in charge. That doesn't mean that you're going to some coven, but that just might mean where you're like, well, we don't have the power to do this and do that. There's a show I watched, which I highly recommend, even though it's just nonstop white people in it, called Mountain Men. That show is truly just an extraordinary confirmation, even if it's coming from the white people. The white people don't mind portraying themselves as, well, they allow themselves to portray each other in a way that is more salient than they'll ever allow us to get confirmation through the media that that is the real us, where in the show they have them living in very rural areas and they're just doing their best to be off the grid, independent. Not each and every single person, it's a reality show, is completely off the grid, but a lot of them are. And you look at that and you're just like, yeah, that's life. Life ain't about having some big fancy mansion in order to get the substance of life. These people, they've recognized there's something wrong with white society. They don't say that themselves, right? Because they're white people. That's the way they're going to be. And I'm not mad at them because I don't need anything from them, right? And so they recognize there's something wrong with their society. And so they stepped away from it in order to have a more authentic life. And that is what they confess they experience. Some of them living in teepees, living in shacks that they built by hand. And some of them building things without any power tools whatsoever. Whereas they've got us thinking that being a celebrity in a mansion, if you don't have that level of their concept of what wealth is, you're a useless human being. And that is such a lie. It's such a lie. But this is something that I realized long before I saw Mountain Men. I don't need to see a bunch of white folks living rough, and I'm not in the mood for being a hermit. Right? I ain't moving to Alaska. That's for daggone sure. Wherever there's a big congregation of white folks, I'm doing a beeline to the ghetto. Okay. But I recognized this long ago. So when folks will say things about me that, oh, she doesn't have a pot to piss in, I feel sorry for those people because they are fake. They're plastic, their concepts of life. No wonder from that pool of people, I would expect to find depression. And when you look and you research them, you find out they're on a multitude of psychotropic medications because they have this devil standard of what's important in their head. That always leaves you dissatisfied. That's why I am such a serene, at peace sister. Right? So let me continue reading this where for those who love truth and stay dedicated to being their righteous selves, because white man don't own existence, and even fragile flowers reign supreme with their beauty. I am a person who I walk outside my door, I see a beautiful flower, and I'll actually go up and smell that flower because I live in that moment and appreciate the gifts from Allah, no matter how small, insignificant seeming. I adore them. In my prayers, I always thank Him for this extraordinary experience of life and the beauty of this planet. That is not someone who would succumb to what this email put out there. And that somebody, I don't know if somebody contacted them or not. I'm not going to answer this email because YouTube in no way has shown any intention of treating people who love being what the Most High made them to be. And He made me to be black. I do not see for a moment when you have a platform that removes not heinous comments, not comments where anybody is calling for the harming of anyone. I wish white people all the best. Good luck to you. But could you leave us alone? Could you recognize we're a whole separate nation and you're using us to destroy everybody and everything? That doesn't make me feel depressed. It's like looking at a jackal and recognizing, you know what? If I'm alone with that jackal, I ain't coming out of that situation. And so I do my best to avoid jackals. Doesn't make me depressed, right? Doesn't make me want to kill myself. Goodness gracious, for the devil? For a jackal? No. I know how to smell the flowers. I know how to be with the most amazing man I've ever met in my life. And I'm not talking my king up because it's some different reality in our house. No, I live this. I am this. And so the fact that I have a full range of emotions and that I feel compassion for those about to die, and this society is supporting that carnage. Georgia Guidestones, the people who erected that, they're the ones who should be depressed because they're actually doing something ghoulish. I wish no one any harm. No one. Okay? And so I just wanted to put that public statement out there because I will not answer this. I will not respond to this. And then it's on record, hidden in a way that YouTube, which is obviously completely disingenuous, completely despicable, can spin it with whomever owns it, NSA, the satanic elites, whatever, right? Can spin it any way they want. No, no, I want you to know that. Let's go on over here and stop sharing for a second and get, I don't know, someone is ringing me, but I'm not answering right now. Here we go. That's what I want. And now share again. And greetings to all the people who come on in. Well, let me say greetings to you because I get so happy to see you. Let's see. We have beloved Emil the Resistible. How are you, beloved? It's good to see you. And Brother Shako, what are you saying? I look at it like this, sis. It's already you keep going over the same topics, brother. And the Bible and the Quran say, when you see it's the last days, you should rejoice. Soldiers don't go onto the battlefield crying over how difficult their duty is. They know what they're fighting for, and they do so. This might not be for you. You might have to be a civilian. I don't recommend my channel to you then, right? But I'm a joyous soldier. I'm a warrioress. So I do what needs to be done because I'm here to be of assistance, to protect the children from a society that is encouraging pedophilia. I don't know about you, but I ain't getting weak against an enemy like that, against a jackal. Like I said, if a jackal is vicious, what's that got to do with me? Nothing, nothing. The whole planet could explode. Is that going to destroy Allah? No, no. And I know He created me from the nothingness. He brought each and every single one of our souls out into the glory of His creation. What a gift. So I know if everything falls to rack and ruin, I'm coming back as best as I can, be pleasing in His eye. That means I don't quake when I see the jackal. I fear only Allah. I want to be found pleasing to Him so that He will let me participate in His promise. And He never, ever, ever goes back on His promises, on His covenants. He promised everlasting heaven. And I don't mean up in the clouds. I mean right where we stand, even if it's in another lifetime. Because in the Quran, it also says, what are you fearful for? You think I forgot when I created this planet how to make the next one? There's nothing to fear. Okay? I don't normal according to who, brother? You're trying to live life normally according to who? according to these people and thinking that they're the be all and end all, then you have the wrong master in your head. I can only entreat you to fall to your knees and beg him to guide you. I'm serious, really. Ask him to be there to protect you through the valley of affliction. Then that's on you. Why wouldn't you make it to heaven? I only say it's up to him. I might not be found pleasing to him because I'm not him, but I do everything that I can. And from what I've read, I think I'm going to make it, but I'm not going to be arrogant and just act like, oh, yeah, I'm in good with Allah because I don't know. Right? Oh, I wasn't sharing the screen. Oh, but I wanted to share it in a second. But I don't want to, let's see. Oh, let's see. I got to go over to the other side so that I don't support endless back and forth. If you come through my channel, you know what I'm about. And if you've never been here before and you just want to, get into petty back and forth, brother Shakur, I love you. And we've, had conversations before. So with you, I'll have that conversation up to a point. And then it's up to you to make those choices. When it comes to me and my exercising, it's up to me to do it. I have all the excuses for myself in the world not to. But in the end, every time I get up and I get that sweat going, I could just as easily say, oh, it's too hard. But I don't want to because I want to live. If you want to be found favorable, then look genuinely at what you do. And if you know, just follow the commands. If you know there's something you're doing that is not going to be found favorable, ain't nobody's going to change it but you. And then you just do the best you can. There's no guarantees on anything. But if you have satisfaction that you've done your best, there's nothing to fear, right? And so let's see. Oh, I forgot. Oh, yeah, I want to come over and listen to this. I mean, get the chat room over here because there's more actions that I can take over here. Got it. Okay. And goodbye to that. And there we go. All right. There we go. Oh, okay. You're saying you support what I'm saying, facts over fear. Okay, because I was just coming on over. Because I do not coddle nonsense. There are some people who are really good at asking questions and being open. And I gotta greet my sister, Jai Africa. Jai Africa. I love you, Queen. See, that's a sister who she sees there's a problem and she just gets to it. And I so appreciate sister on her channel has been uploading my old shares. That's a beautiful thing. That's just, I love to see that. Not because it's me, but simply because nobody else is giving out this information that needs to be shared, right? In being satisfied with my life, that's because I know my love is deep. And it feels so good to love you because you're such a beautiful people. I don't care what lies I see. I am not embarrassed by the state that enduring this lesson from the Most High. Sometimes I get people mad too. They're like, why he put us through all of this? Because teaching the soul is a whole sight different than teaching math, reading, and gymnastics, right? Or whatever it is that they teach to you during a set amount of years. Teaching the soul takes a set amount of lifetimes. And it's got to stay because your soul is more like your dreams. When you're dreaming, you really are having a open just form for your soul. And so Can you imagine how just not even imagine? It's real difficult to enter a state of lucid dreaming. And I don't actually recommend lucid dreaming because that state of sleep where you're in your dreams is there for a reason. It's a reboot where the person who's supposed to be coming in guiding you is the Most High. Letting you know in that state where you are at one with your non-corporeal self, that you're getting the lesson. That's why a lot of people, you have nightmares. Doesn't mean that you're evil or you're wrong. It means that there's a portion of this when you are awake, you're supposed to be learning from. And so imagine trying to actually teach yourself in your dreams. It's not easy to do. It can take, remember, I used to be up till about, I don't know, maybe about 22, 23. And definitely by my 25th birthday, I finally figured out enough of life that I was at peace. And I've never lost that sense of peace ever again. I've just increased it. And amazingly, my dreams became so peaceful. I have such relaxing dreams. It's absolutely glorious. It's a wonderful thing. And so I take that as a sign that my soul has come to be at peace. Do I have more to learn? Oh my goodness, do I ever? But when I am faced with struggle, when I'm faced with the jackal, even, what's that got to do with me? What's it got? It has to do with me, but I've already proven to myself that I can overcome obstacles, trials, tribulations, the full range of my emotions. So when anything happens to you, I feel pain, but that doesn't mean I don't feel joy, right? So, let's see what you're saying, Sister Jai Africa, because I miss it. They allow all types of debauchery up here. They are not to be taken seriously. Exactly. So true. So true. They're absolutely, I mean, they're overwhelming with, I mean, there's pornography up here, and you don't have to do too much in order to find out where it is. Sister Gwen B let me know about that. Let me share my screen. I haven't shared my screen. There we go. And this would get dull just to see my channel icon all the time. Yeah, they had, what's his name? Lil Nasty N. And I don't mean N in a good way. Up here twerking and suggested sexual nastiness. And they had him pegged in child baby videos. I was like, what? So this is not a fair and impartial platform, not in any way, shape, or form. So I would never, ever respond to them. And I am doing so publicly so that you can know your sister is at peace. Your sister is good. Very, very good. Just because I can feel all my emotions, that means I'm actually stronger, not weaker. Okay, so that's all that I really wanted to share. Let's see what you're saying, Emil. Oh, let me see what you're saying, Brother Shakur. Gabriel Union and Dwayne Wade were reading a script. I bet they were. That's all they do. They live a script. It's so sad to see them try and intertwine Black freedom with homosexual. I know, but they're controlled. They're slaves. That's what materialism has twisted so many around into becoming and thinking that they're free. How can you be free and you have agreed to sexually abuse your child? I'm not saying they are actually hands-on sexually abusing their child, but mentally they sure are, because that's a boy. That's a boy. And they're talking him into a practice where he just might get himself castrated. That's incredible. Oh, beloved Sister Gwen B. I uploaded her review of my King's GI cleanser. What a powerful review she did. So informative. I mean, wow. I just listened to the whole thing and I'm going to go back and listen to it again. But I got that email and I was like, oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't, YouTube. But I was up here. I don't know where. Oh, right there. I was at 11 minutes and 46 seconds. What a beautiful sister. I cannot believe that sister well, she's only 71 years old, but she's so full of life. Her face is glorious. You could just tell when people want to make fun of us as we age. And that is such a sign of someone who has swallowed the white mindset completely. Because you want to know from those elders who have the joy of life despite having endured all the same trials and tribulations that they taught the young are brand new to you. And no, they're not. No, they're not. Those are the people you want to be learning from. The ones who made it through everything you think is a trial. And it's just a lesson. It's a lesson. And you got to be there. Are you going to feel pain? You're daggone skippy are. But it ain't going to kill you. It ain't going to kill you. And at the end of that journey through that particular valley, you will be stronger. You will be wiser. You will be impervious to the same sort of future BS. And something might just sort of, knock your socks off, knock you for a loop. But you're still going to say, I went through worse. Or I went through that stuff a couple years ago and I was all right. You're going to make it. You're going to be okay. Right? I'm just saying, the sister has smiled and enjoyed life more than she succumbed to any hopelessness. Is another sister who she just gets to that research. She don't wait. Okay. So going back to the chat room and then let me get on out of here. Let's see what you're saying. I'm sorry, beloved Emil. Let's see what you're saying. I'm glad you still talk to Gwenby. Oh my goodness, I could never not talk to that sister. She does live streams from time to time with Brother Maurice and you. Oh my goodness gracious, I had no idea. Oh, she gets on the panel. Oh, okay. All right. I've been busy, and this is a good time to say, as of tomorrow, I'm going into deep research so that I could write the next radiation textbook. And I figure the research, I'm thinking 3 to 4 months of just reading. No, extensive Netflix, or I watch the Korean dramas, which are getting increasingly satanic themselves. So there's fewer and fewer I can watch of that. But none of that, so that I can just document what I know. And I won't just be reiterating what's in the books. I'll be offering all my experience, my eyewitness testimonial, and of course that means the proof of what these people are doing to the only planet we have. I hope we could rescue the planet. That'd be a nice thing. But I'm just saying, right? So yeah, let's see what you're saying, Africa. You don't have to look at all the music videos on the trending page are uber sexual. I don't want to know. They surely are, the ones that I do see. And let's see what you're saying, Brother Shakur. Also, your comment section is controlled as well. Yes, I know. I know when I see 1 or 2 comments for what I'm putting out here, and what I'm putting out here is powerful. I know it's completely controlled. I know they probably, a lot of you family, they don't even begin to allow your comments to show up. If I go on my phone to look at comments, I'll see 1, and it'll even say comments, 5 or 10, and I'll just see 1. And often, Sister Jai Africa, your comments are what they hide a lot of times. That's because you are a doer. You are such a doer. And they don't want people to know that my warning is getting out there because I see our beloved sister Gwen B. I was just talking about your sister. Just came into the chat room. They will allow Sister Gwen B to leave comments, but she's known as someone that is always on my channel. So they're like, okay, all right, but we don't want them to think that anybody new is listening to Sister Ajali. All right. So yeah, I'm glad that you see that, Brother Shakur, in terms of the comments, because also they sort of know I love your comments. Your comments give me life. And I always go, when I go to check my channel, I always go to the comments first. The number, the view count at this point is so controlled. I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah, I got 20 views. That's good enough. Okay. Um, but I go to your comments. And so now I notice that it'll just be like 5 comments for the longest time, and it'll stay that way too. And it'll just be 1 like, 2 likes, no likes, which tells me that other people can't see your comments either, right? And do I miss that? Yes, I do, but I still will entreat all anyone listening, leave comments. They're really wonderful. And go donate through Patreon, $1. When you see that you can't leave a comment at all and it won't load up, then you know, oh, this is for real. This is not for fake. Okay? Because you assist me. Because what I plan on doing, that's why I'm working so hard, is testing our food. That will be a global event, without a doubt. But in order to test our food, I need capital. That's why I have products. I don't just ask for donations. I have products that are wonderful. The king has products that are extraordinary. Okay? So we're not just here to jump on the, flip the script bandwagon where we're just really lying to you. We're here to be of sublime benefit to you and to our people. We're not here to be a cult. You don't have to move next door to me. Okay? I want you to heal with your family, with your community. I just entreat you to recognize the wealth of your melanin so that you're not worshiping the jackal. Okay, so let's see what everyone is saying. Brother Shakur, again, there was a time when I was commenting something important and wouldn't let me. Yep, there you go. There you go. Thank you for telling me. They are using him as a publicity stunt as well as very sad. I think I was talking about something and I don't remember who I was talking about. But 71, yes, exactly. Gwen B. Sis Gwen B look good, don't she? Exactly. I suspect when someone has a countenance that's just that youthful, that's because she's sane and wise. That gives you a serenity automatically. When you reach a level of understanding of just what's trivial, what's not worth your notice, then you really feel daggone good. You don't have them frown lines, and it takes a lot of effort to frown. It takes a lot of effort to walk around with a glower on your face all the time. So those muscles you utilize to do that, they etch into your skin. And it also sends out a negative hormonal flow of cortisol on a constant. May not be sending out adrenaline, but on a low ebb, probably that adrenaline is there because at some point in your childhood, something happened where you think that people are out to get you. And that, oh my goodness gracious, I don't want to, risk smiling at someone. When no, you actually get the wealth back from being generous with your spirit, right? I realized I was like, wait a minute, but I actually love all my people. What, does that cost me something? No. It's freed me. It's freed me from believing the lies that the media puts out there, believing the nonsense. Black, oh, what about black on black crime? What about white on white crime? What about yellow on yellow crime? That happens constantly on a level that, when we examine it, curdles the imagination. I can't, I've kind of gotten to the point where I can't watch so many of their murder shows anymore because, like, they'll murder the whole family. Right? They murdered the baby, they murdered this, them, everybody. I know we can do that, but I just don't see us doing it like that. I don't see us killing an ocean. That's for daggone sure. That's so gigantic and unfathomable that you like they say, one murder is a tragedy. A million murders is a statistic. Well, killing an ocean? That should be the most ghoulish thing ever. Because we depend on it for oxygen. Right? And if you love nature, and I love nature, I depend on it for beauty. Right? So I can't watch this stuff like that anymore. So let me keep on going. Brother Emil. You know what? I like to just be clear. Wonderful Emil is Filipino. That's a beautiful thing. Beautiful people. I'm so sorry. I think it's such a horrible war crime that the Spanish and then the Americans robbed so many Filipinos of knowledge of their own culture. And so that I've read quotes from other Asians who said that when the Filipinos come to visit, they actually think that they're Spanish. Right? And I don't mean anything bad by that because everybody has been traumatized by these Europeans. Emil is so educated about his people. So I love a planet filled with genuine diversity. So thereby, I always put that clean borderline, but it doesn't mean I hate other people, other races, other nations. It just means you should be brother and sister with yours so that you know that's where you're supposed to protect and heal and strive for the best you. So I only call Black people brother and sister. And if you are a Black person stone cold out your mind, I don't call you that either. Okay? You could be an other race and be absolutely astounding, an amazing person. But I keep that boundary because we have to separate. This whole idea that it's all one human race is going to kill us all. It's going to kill us all. Okay? So that I do not fake with folks, even though I want to be nice to everybody. But nice will get you killed. It'll get us all killed. All right. And so let's see what Sister Gwen you're saying. Yep, almost 70. They removed my comments too. Wow. There you go. I have to repost all the time. There you go. I know it because I look, it's like, what? 3 comments? They're doing their little psychic things towards me. But it's just a jackal for me. Like, okay, there you go. It's a jackal. Let's see. And thanks. You're welcome, sister. And Emil, okay, that's to Sister Gwen. And good luck, Emil. Yes. And I'm real immature. I watch anime. That's fun. Oh my goodness. You and my king would have so much to talk about because he watches anime too. And I don't get it. I just thought I was like, okay. Oh, yeah, you love us too. There you go. It's such a wealth. It gives back to you. I mean, love is such a wonderful emotion. And then here you have a whole people to love. Oh my goodness gracious. Wow, that's one of the reasons why I walk around and I could just be having a little cloud floating underneath my feet because I feel so at peace. So at peace. Right? So, yes, yes, and Emil, I can't stand shows where murder is involved. Me either. I will watch it if the storyline is okay, but I just can't watch that carnage like, what is it? John Wick type of stuff. I'm like, what? And that's the level of just bloodthirstiness they're trying to entreat the whole world to. That's why I put the post with the crocuses flowers, which are my favorite flowers, not because they're actually the most beautiful flower or the most scented flower, but it's because they just come out and springs there, springs there, which defies all the ugliness that they're trying to convince us is the only way to live, the only option, so that people become overwhelmed. And you don't have to. You just have to concentrate on the gifts that the Most High has given you. Use the name, always use the name of the Creator that you've been divinely guided to embrace. In the Quran itself, it states definitively that Allah has many beautiful names. I love that. I love that. As long as whom you are worshiping is entreating you to honesty, to following the commands, to life more abundantly, and he is the creator of all things, because the devil is just a destroyer, and then that's the one and the only, right? And so let me keep on going here. Uh, let's see. And let me finish reading. I watched Avatar, The Way of Water. The movie was hard for me to watch because it shows white people. Oh no. Woo. Oh no, I couldn't watch that. I couldn't. That would be too much. And I'm glad I've been rehumanizing myself by avoiding, because they'll have in these news stories like the elder white woman in Florida who was eaten by an alligator. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? You're showing the video? That I remember when I was a child, you just couldn't even see stuff like that. Crime scene photos, you can only see those still if you either go to one of those nasty websites that show you all kinds of mutilated flesh photos, but you're not just going to see that randomly because it's an understanding. We should not be horrifying people with things like that. But you got this video, and God forbid anything happens to us. It's like the World Trade Towers coming down again. They have to play it over and over again. Oh, black man beaten up, shot and stabbed, dragged down the street by a horse. They got to show it over and over and over and over and over again because they want to nullify you. And they want to make it seem as if it's just common, like the Roman arena. Those people sitting there watching Christians be torn apart by lions, they probably got to the point where they needed the next level of viciousness because they weren't even alive inside. That's what they want everybody to get to that point. And no, I refuse. So I see the more I step away and I say, I am sacred. My soul is precious. The more that sort of content becomes despicable to me. I have to actually fast forward if it gets to a point in anything I'm watching where it's just too salacious. No, I can't. I can't watch it. Okay, so let's keep going. Yes, ma'am. I keep telling my African friends we are all separate nations. That's it. That's a mighty truth. That's the mighty truth, right? That I've said it. If a non-black person tells the truth, that is as close to a good friend as you're ever going to get. But just keep everybody separate. Keep everybody building their own nations. Don't get it fooled. Like I think social media, this is where we all can talk, figure out what's going on. But then when we go back home, we're with our people who birthed us, right? And so, Brother Shakur, you were sharing your screen and I was watching and I commented LOL. My comment would not pop up. There you go. There you go. I've seen that happen when I've been on Sister Lashid, and I pray Sister Lashid's okay because I know she takes extended breaks every now and then. But she's been mentioning about ailing. And I pray that, she's well and in good spirits and is just taking care of what needs to be taken care of. Because if I don't see you, I'm on notice. Yeah, on her lives, they've done the same thing where I had mentioned about Africa, and I was really appreciative to you, Emil, that you had posted photos of it snowing in Africa. I got to do more research on that because I'm like, I don't ever remember anything of the sort. I'm just saying, I know it's down in South Africa and that's at a further point away from the equator itself, but I just got to see historically, is that the case? Because I don't remember anything like that. South Africa looks pretty warm. So yeah, I appreciate when someone is honest. I'm not going to be mad at a white person for being honest. And that's why I'm always giving credit and salute to the white anti-nukers. When I write my textbook, I am going to give salute and credit to the white scientists who, because of them, I know the facts about radiation. I don't know my opinion. I know the facts. So I'm grateful to all their work because, I mean, that's a lot of daggone work. Why would I be mad at them? The reason why I know they target the Black community is because Dr. Ernest Sternglass. Thoroughly, he's such a white dude. He was. He's gone now. They were waiting long enough for all of those who were telling the truth about radiation to pass away naturally. And so they could get all their lies on and nobody would know. They could say something as ridiculous as, oh, it's the same thing as what's in a banana, and everybody would believe it. But let me keep on going. Um, let's see. Brother Shakur, I would say certain words to see what was going on, and they were blocking what I was trying to say, even if I tried to rearrange it. Yeah, they do that. It's not fair and impartial. It's racist. It's racist. It's a modern day racism because they plan genocide. And they can't have that getting out. Right? So that's why anybody who comes through, share, share, share. Get the downloaded, put it on thumbnails, whatever. Not just me, anybody whose content you appreciate and save it. Right? And any of my content is just for you public use. If you want to even download it and put it on little DVDs or something, CDs, and sell it to folks for $1 or a penny or whatever, have at it. Go for yours. I hope you can get that money. I don't think you will, but I'm just saying. Okay? It's for all of us. In that case, also go donate or go buy my king's amazing products. Now, let me keep on going. Sister Jai Africa and marketed themselves as kind people after it all. Yep, they sure do. They sure do. They want to keep that whole the malarkey going, but they're losing. That's a beautiful thing to see. Wow. And they're trying to normalize murder as a solution to simple distress. Yes, I was shocked. There's so many things going on, and I don't have time to talk about them because my health and my family are my top priorities. And that takes time because I do my exercise, I supplement, I'm an urban homesteader. So a lot of the things I make myself for us. And so I don't have time to share every single like ridiculous story I see, but the one that happened in Canada where there was an elder man who wanted to commit suicide. They want to call it euthanasia because it sounds so just ephemeral and so like pleasant, right? He wanted to commit suicide because he's not earning enough money to take care of himself anymore. I knew they would take it to that level soon enough. I knew they would do that, right? When Jack Kevorkian first came out with the whole idea, that's where we should have stopped it. Because I bet you Jack who was being probably, I'm just saying, he dead now, so I could say whatever I want to say about him by law, right? But I'm sure he was an agent. He was an agent where he was just putting that out there so it could reach the level of ridiculous that it is right now. And worse, right? And so let's see now. What Sister Gwen B. I intend to watch John Wick. If you've got that ability, I say go, have at it because there's things they confess in this sort of stuff. So yeah, I can handle violence in movies. I want folks shot up and beat down and kicked. You funny. Have at it. Do what you know you can do. I just can't. I'm so sick of them. I don't even want to see that. Let's see now. Where were you, John Wick? Okay, there we go. Emil, yes, I'm a child at heart too. I watch Disney movies and DreamWorks animated movies. I don't watch shows with too much sex and adultery, such as Game of Thrones. I did watch Game of Thrones, and I was just sickened by it. And I read the book too, and the book wasn't anywhere near as disgusting as the TV show was. But by season, what is it? Well, they got the new Game of Thrones out. I was like, I'm out of here. Oh, and season three, I think. Oh no, I watched all the way through season three, but there was stuff going on with the latest one where I was like, nope, 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 I'm out. I'm out. And the incest and all the rest, no, I'm out. No, I can't. No, Let's see, you have a secret violence streak, I think. Well, I have great faith, Sister Gwenby, that you don't take it out on the innocent, okay? And if you do, stop that now, okay? So let's see, Sister Jai Africa, people die with no repercussions in these shows. Exactly. Real death. I just want to remember it affects. I heard a comment in one of these murder shows, and it really sat with me, where they said it not only affects the immediate family members, it not only affects the neighbors, but the community for generations. And you can see that in the trauma that we're suffering under. Every violence we saw, it's in our DNA, given to us from our mothers and from our fathers too, because that genetic messaging goes to their gonads, and so that it becomes part of the sperm too. And so you can have a damaged mother and a damaged father, and I don't know how any of us could not have been damaged by the trauma of what these people have done to us. There would not be a Gabriel and a Union and a Dwayne Wade. And if there was a Zion, he would know that his name is Zion. Okay. So yeah, it's just, yeah, I can't. I just can't for myself. I couldn't the new Avatar either. There you go. Um, and let's see, I can't watch real violence ever. There you go. So you have that clean separation where you know that it's, a fake. For me, I feel like I woke up too late in my life and that I've been mentally assaulted, raped by these people with lies upon lies. And so I'm just wondering how much of my genuine humanity they've stolen from me. And so I'm just trying to get as much back of that as I can because it's just they're freaking creep toys. They're creepy. And I'm tired of them. Tired of them. So tired of them. So let's see what you're saying, Sister Jai Africa. They are indeed trying to rile white people up. Exactly. They just show photos of a black Tinkerbell and the Black Mermaid movie is coming out. I know. I'm like, I don't need to see us doing blackface for white stories. I don't want to say because I put a section in my novel, This Black Nation, that when I was writing it, there's just a concept. I was like, whoa, that is deep. That's wild. But I'm just like, we have our own stories to tell. We don't need them. There's so many black writers out there that actually genuinely have sympathy for us. Sister Gwenby did an amazing review of how she wants more pro-black literature. And so she was just saying that there's not really that many who were genuinely pro-black, but there's still good stories out there written by black people that can be translated, but they have an agenda. They control the media. So it's still slavery because they're enslaving our minds. They're raping our minds. And they never choose anything that is pro us, right? And so let's see now. Next one, Brother Shakur. Either too much sex or too much violence nowadays in these. Exactly, it's off the scale. I just am like, wow. Okay, let's see now. I don't want to miss this. I usually come in here and I have so much to talk about, and then I don't read the comments, but I want to read your comments because they don't put them up there. I might have to just do lives occasionally so I can read what you're saying. So, Sister Jai Africa, they're constantly pushing interracial couples on on TikTok. TikTok's owned by China. And I actually think that almost all of these platforms collude with China because China's in cahoots with the whole thing. They just pretend on paper that they're arguing with the United States. Oh, we're going to go to war any minute. It's all pretense. Because the things that supposedly China has done to the US and there's no repercussions for it. What? Really? No, it's all an agenda. So TikTok's owned by China, and TikTok with that, I mean, I watch Mad Black TV where he did such an analysis, such an explanation of these minstrel shows, black minstrel shows on social media, where you have black people who are doing just basically step and fetch it, and for white audiences even. And he says on TikTok, it's just that's almost all that is up there pretty much. I mean, I know there's a lot of other stuff where they're trying to destroy people's minds, but that's coming from China. Why would China care about keeping black people so caught up in thinking we're the worst people on the planet unless they're working with the white people? Okay. So let's see. Jai Africa. I heard of snowing in northern Africa. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know either. So Emil, I've been to Cape Town and Namibia. And I'm so sorry, Emil, that I missed your uh gift that you sent me in the mail. That was so nice of you to do that. And I just didn't manage to get over to the post office box. I go there more regularly now. I'm not saying that you should send it back to me or anything of the sort, but I'm just, saying for anybody who, was sending something, I go to the post office more regularly because I'm mailing out the soap. This is why for me, the springtime coming feels like it's going to be incredible. I'm so excited. I'm excited right now anyway, because I just stepped up and increased the positivity of my actions, not just my hopes and my dreams, my actual actions, where I've streamlined and intensified my working out. I found out that I have to be careful with that because I was so happy to find out that I have a limit. It was so much fun because one day, what did I do? That just wore me out. I think I ran upstairs a flight of, I think it's about 15 stairs or maybe 18 or something like that. I ran up it 30 consecutive times. I'm talking about running up. I also ran down because I had to get down to the bottom, but I ran up 30 times. Oh my goodness. And I was so happy the next day that my legs weren't like killing me. So much so that next day I went and ran 5 miles. And my legs said, yo, lady, I don't know what you're doing, but this ain't working. And I couldn't do a single exercise for I think about a week. And I was in agony. Oh my God, I can't exercise. Um, but I healed up and now I'm like, okay, I have a limit. And so that it feels magnificent though to find out that my body, it's when I am doing my 5 mile runs or my 3 miles or my 2 miles, I literally feel like I'm flying, like I'm just soaring at a certain point. Now, when I start out, oh my goodness, I got to ignore every excuse in the world not to do it. So that's why before I do it, I try not to give in because the day before, I'm always so excited. I can't wait to run tomorrow. And then as soon as I'm like a half an hour to when I actually run, that's when the bottom drops out and I'm like, I don't think I want to do this. Oh my God. But then by the time I'm about a quarter to a third of a way into my runs. Oh, wow. Wow. It feels so phenomenal. I'm just cruising. I feel no pain. It's amazing. I just and go slow when you exercise. Go slow. But it's taken me years to get to this point where I have to remind myself, okay, you feel fantastic. Know you have a limit so that you don't push yourself to the point where one day you can't exercise at all. And so that's amazing. You get this conversation going with your own body where it's telling you almost to the minute, nah, girl, don't do that. Don't do that. That ain't working out. Or, "Ooh, go for it. We got it now." I'll be feeling like just an athlete. Of course, I know I'm not, but I'm just saying it's an amazing feeling. All right. So, yeah, I'm so like just stoked because when you put that work in step by step before you even see the results, and you're just going on faith alone, when you start seeing them results, you are a conqueror. I don't care if I look like I'm a little old lady or not, right? If I manage to, map out my exercise routine, map out my health intake of, healthy foods, if I can manage to map that out when I'm 90, you're going to see this shriveled up little old lady who on the inside, ooh, I'll feel phenomenal, okay? I'll be like moving real slow, but I'll feel like I'm going 90 miles per second. Okay. So let me keep on going because I'm happy to read your comments, family, and be here with you as close as we can be. Which because our souls are so powerful, it feels like you're right here in my office room. I don't have an office, but I got my spot in our apartment. Let's see now. Let's see. I've been to Cape Town. Yes, YouTube is racist. Yup, they sure are. They pick and choose who to suppress. They surely do. And the pattern is absolutely obvious. And Brother Shakur, I just can't believe how simple it is for them to have the power they do. Yes, it is, because it's a whole new uh mode of conversation. And these social media platforms are actually utilities. But for the moment, they're run as if they're private companies, but they have way too much power over society where they can participate, and they are participating, obviously, in genociding the entire planet and Black us specifically. So that's way too much power. These are utilities. They should be regulated so that common citizens have no limits as long as they genuinely are not harming anybody, not calling for violence, physical violence, but cussing somebody out. That ain't violence, right? That just means that, okay, this person is someone I don't want to listen to anymore. I wasn't mad about all the racists that were up on YouTube. I think red ice, they got rid of red ice. Right? Red ice really meant red ice. They wanted to kill you, and they know that ice people. Okay. But I didn't go to red ice. I'm sure they were entreating white people to go violent, right? But now they just got their little white stooges up here. I mean, black stooges up here, black stepping fetchits, to say the same thing. They don't get rid of them because they can hide behind the fakery of, well, no, they're black, so they can't be racist. But at the same time, voices like mine, like brother Chris with Mad Black TV, they suppress his. Okay, they suppress good my king. He's been noticing on the different platforms he's on. They're starting to change because people are starting to realize he's about it, and so they're like, "Oh no, 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 no." Okay. And so, yeah, that's it's just it's racist as hell. Um, let's see now. Sister Gwen, YouTube been caught 2 times playing favorites. Yeah, too many times, definitely. And all it Brother Shakur, all it takes is for us to loan us money to one another the same way they do to each other, right? Yes. 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 Astounding things will happen. Okay? That's all I'm saying, right? Definitely. Buy black. And I don't mean just for me, not just for me or for my king. Buy black, period. If you could find the substitute for it, get it black. If you can't find it, see if you can make it. And so that you're still buying black from yourself, right? But then definitely support pro-black business. Business where we're going to tell you everything that we know that is just about healing, about benefits. And I mean, we're just going to tell you what we know, right? And that means for me, Fukushima. You're going to find out about that. That I'm going to build on. Because I look at all the things I've accomplished, what I'm doing, and I'm like, I would have never imagined myself being so productive in my life. But here I am. So then I saw those little Japanese housewives running their radiation testing lab. And I'm like, they could do it. Shoot, you know I could do it. I bet you none of them are in their home fabricating their own soaps, their own laundry detergent, your own this and that and all the rest of it. And my king with his, oh my goodness, his scientific equipment is just extraordinary. I was going to make a meme where I'm like, he doesn't give me flowers. No, he doesn't. He gives me equipment. I'm like, that is so friggin' perfect. Black nerdy love. It's fantastic. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, pro-black business. You also want to support that 100%. Okay, so yeah, I agree, Brother Shakur. That's right. YouTube, let's see now. LOL, oh, peace, beloved brother 1D forever. How you doing? I finally got on down here. And let's see, Sister Gwen B, I am not mature enough to watch Game of Thrones. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Don't. It was at the same time, it was beautiful and it was fantasy. And that's what I got into. The part that drew me in was the dragons, but it was so racist. It's just even with no black people pretty much in it, it was so racist. Um Let's see now. What? Goody. Okay. Sister Jai Africa. I watched it, looked away from the screen for a lot of the scenes. Yeah. I don't think I fully understood just how planned and strategized their intention normalized debauchery is. I sort of knew, yeah, like that's nasty, brother and sister. That is just like, oh, barf out, nasty. And I didn't watch any like intimate scenes. I don't think they had too many. Um, but at the same time, now I don't know if I would watch it now. I think I'm just become so sick of them. I tried, I forgot what show my king was watching. And if I'm watching something with him, I can watch it. But on my own, I tried to watch something he was watching. And at this point in time, they really bore me. It's not even that they're just, like everything they do is sickening. It's that they bore me. And I'm like, yeah, duh, they should. So I'm not interested in listening to them. And now every show, the characters are despicable. I'm like, why in the world would I want to watch something where it's people I just genuinely don't like? There's nothing redeemable. There's nothing admirable about them. So no, I'm not gonna watch it. Let's see now. I watched it and looked away from the screen for a lot of scenes. Right. Um, so I like watching shows with political machinations, but so many of them are hypersexual as if that is synonymous with adult entertainment. I know I can't, it's the sexualization. At this point in time, I'm embarrassed for the actors where I wish I could, put clothes on them or something. I'm like, you guys have just turned into porn stars. That's all you are now. And so I fast forward through all those scenes. I'm just like, okay, enough already. It turns into an orgy where the viewers are mentally participating in these scenes. And no, thank you. That's very private. That's the beauty of it is it's private. I know one day we're going to go back to just the movies where holding hands, nice kiss is good enough. and then you leave it up to the viewer's imagination. That's more than enough. That's a societally sustainable just attribute to have, where you are responsible for protecting the people around you. You're not just thinking everybody's supposed to be taking part in a bordello. This is crazy, right? See, but I can watch martial arts sports matches. Yes, I remember you explaining how you after a point of watching the martial arts, you didn't even have to have the credits on the bottom or the subtitles on the bottom because you knew what the dialogue was. So, yeah, that's a beautiful thing. I haven't gotten that point with Korean dramas, but probably almost. And I mean the romantic ones, the ones with the carnage I can't handle. Like I didn't watch, I forgot what was the Squid Game and the other ones. I can't watch that stuff. There are only two pro-black writers that I know so far. I wonder who that is, Sister Gwenby. And let me just give kudos to our wonderful brother Yapo Yapa, who I know to be one, but I don't know who the other one is. Step and Fetch It, acting on steroids. Yeah. See, Sister Jai Africa, I walked over 6 miles the other day and it was fun. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. Oh, that's nice. Walking is phenomenal exercise. Don't undervalue it. You don't have to run. You just do a nice brisk walk, and it's the same amount of calories as somebody who's running, depending on your mileage. So the 6 miles, however long it took you to do it, you got the same calorie burn as if I ran 6 miles. Okay, so yeah, that's a beautiful exercise. Sister, oh, I can't run worth a damn though. Oh, you have chest pains. Yes, yes. I think I remember you mentioning that before, that that's an issue. So well, if you want to, you could do a consultation with my king. But other than that, he has a remedy called sinus ease, but I don't know if it would be affecting your sinuses. I'll ask him about respiratory conditions and see if there's anything. And you could also look it up yourself in terms of what, because I know garlic is wonderful for respiratory problems. And deep breathing can also help increase the flexibility of your alveoli in your lung tissue. All right. So, Sister Jai, I hope I'm as spry as you are at that age. I pray you are too, Queen. It's a wonderful, it's wow. You feel like you have this incredible extension of life because I'm not I'm stronger than I was when I was 35. It's an amazing thing. So let's see now. I'd love if you post a video on how to make detergent. You know what? I could do that because I have no plans or whatsoever on selling my detergent. And it saves. I love walking through the aisle in the supermarket where the detergent is like $16 for a tiny little bottle. And I just go, bye, 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 detergent. I don't need you. It works phenomenally. It doesn't sud up though. But in my research, I find out that that whole sudsy thing, those are chemicals they add because they are psyching your mind up to make you think that it's working extra hard. The suds has absolutely nothing to do with what actually cleans your clothes. So it doesn't suds up but so much, but it cleans phenomenally. All right. So, sister, so many of these new shows are super dull. The celebs used to be larger than life in my childhood. Now they bore me to tears. Yup, Sister Gwen B, I agree. Yup. So I turn away during sex scenes too. Oh, I get embarrassed. Yes. It just is like, oh no, I'm not supposed to be looking at you doing that. No. And Brother Warrior Status, how are you, King? It's good to see you. Oh, and Sister Gwen B, you shared the link to 25,000yearcycle.org. Yes, that's where you can go, anyone, and get the healing remedies that my king. Oh, I know you must get sick of me talking about him, but I can't help it because it's just true. And you find out, like when you do the research on Fukushima, what I was warning about, you find out that, oh, this is true. There are amazing Black people out here. We're not the only ones. It's just that they hide our existence so that it seems like there's no hope for us. and there's nothing but hope. All right. So I've said all I need to say. Let me get on out of here. I talked way longer than I thought I wanted to talk, but it was so much fun to just connect with your family. You give me life. It's a beautiful thing. So let's say good night and see you, because I'm going to start doing that research for my textbook. So I probably should be cutting back to just one share a week. All right. All right. So good night, Emil and Sister Gwen B. Oh, yes, it was. I enjoyed it too, Queen. Good night, everybody. I love you very, very much. You're amazing. Don't let anybody lie to you, because anybody who says anything other, that is a straight up lie. Peace.